Hello everyone. We the Group 10 consisting of Kezang Dem, Manveer and myself, Ugyen Nima, will be presenting on the topic how does the minimum wage rate affect the market equilibrium. First of all, minimum wage rate. When we talk about minimum wage rate, it is a government intervention on the market. The government sets a minimum wage rate on the market so to improve the work ethic and increase the standard of living of workers. This is so that the private firms does not exploit their laborers. When we talk about market equilibrium, the market is at equilibrium when the supply for labor is equal to the demand for labor at this point. Now, if the wage rate is higher than the equilibrium point, the demand for labor is less and the supply for the labor is high, executing an excess supply for labor situation. Also, at the same time, when the wage rate is low, the supply for labor is less while the demand for labor is high, executing an excess demand situation.
Here I will present on the imposition of minimum wage. When the government imposes a minimum wage, firms are not permitted to pay less than the amount that the government sets. Let's imagine that the market equilibrium wage is at $4 per hour. But the government now passes legislation law stating that all the firms must pay at least $5 per hour. At this wage, supply will be not equal with demand of labor. Now we can see that the workers who supply labor would like to sell 50,000 of laborers in the market at the newly set minimum wage. There are 250 more workers who are willing to work at the higher wage which is set by government. But here the firms wish to purchase only 32,000 hours of labor which the firm want to hire 200 fewer workers in their market. In market with voluntary trade, no one can force the firm to take more workers or less workers. As a result, equivalent quantity of labor traded in the market will be determined by how much the firms wish to buy, not how much workers want to sell.
The effect of minimum wage rate on the labor market equilibrium is that initially the equilibrium is where the demand and supply intersects each other. But now, due to the minimum wage rate, the equilibrium shifts upward on the demand curve where it creates an unemployment situation in the market.
Now, I'm going to speak about inflation and minimum wage. Inflation will decrease the real wage rate. Minimum wages are set in nominal terms and will not change with inflation. So when inflation is high, firms may employ more workers as the real wages will keep decreasing. This will create a new equilibrium. From the given chart, we can see that when real wage rate was $5, then 32,000 laborers were employed. When real wage rate decreased to $4.55, then 35,600 laborers were employed. From the given slide, we can conclude that after inflation, the real wage rate decreases and the market reaches back to its original equilibrium position.